Hey everyone, welcome to Deadly Archives. That's our first episode ever. And
What's up?
yeah, this is Maria and Hannah. Hopefully we will...
And Obi.
And Obi,
My
yeah.
rabbit.
You're right, our rabbit is here. We're
Most
currently in a car right now.
Important guest.
I know. And we basically want to start a podcast talking about weird shit that
Just whatever
happened
whenever.
in history.
Yeah, just
and like
cause.
medical stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's start. I picked today for us to talk about Princess Diana and her death, because that was very sketchy, right?
V-sketch.
Yeah,
V-sketch.
I think so too. My mom's obsessed with it.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, she loves hearing about it and everything.
she was, Princess Diana was her icon.
Princess of Wales.
What a gal.
I know.
Love her.
So, for the people that don't know who she is, which I doubt, Diana Frances Spencer was born in July 1st, 1961 at Park House, oh my gosh, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, in Sandringham, England, United Kingdom.
Sounds right.
Yeah, and she died August 31st, 1997, when she was 36, in a hospital in Paris, and we're going to cover that. And it was labeled as a car crash, which is true, but
like, when you get into it, there's like a lot more.
There's more,
There's so much more.
Yeah.
There's no way it was
the
just
timeline for me was the worst part.
happenstance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
No. Yeah.
Well, I guess they have a different... We'll talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was married with Charles, Prince of Wales, or Charles the First.
King Charles now.
King Charles, you're right.
Rest in peace, Queen Elizabeth.
Rest in peace. Yeah, you're right. And they got divorced.
96?
Right. 96, yeah. I didn't... Yeah, 1996. They separated, actually, in 1992. And they both were seeing other people.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Camilla.
Yeah, he was seeing Camilla. And she was seeing... I think not even for a year, right? I think Faye was the guy that she was seeing. He was a producer of films, and he was like a billionaire, millionaire or something. That was crazy that I was reading about. But yeah, let's talk about it. So, Princess Diana was married to Prince Charles, and the whole conspiracy about it, there are more than 175 conspiracies that I've heard.
Jeez.
I know, it's crazy,
I love
right?
conspiracy theories, though.
Yeah, me too. Good thing we got a podcast for it, too.
Yeah.
All right. So they died on... The whole thing actually started on August 30th. I guess I'll start with timelines, and then we can dig into it. So, all the times are local times, they're not American times. So on August 30th, 1997, around 4:30 p.m., Diana and Faye, they arrived at the Ritz Paris Hotel that was actually owned by Faye's father. He owned that hotel. And they got to the hotel. Apparently, I don't know what they were doing, but they got there around...
Yeah, I can guess.
Yeah. around 4:30 p.m. And actually, they had around 5:40, or like kind of like an hour later, 5:40, 6:30. That's what the elevator time shows.
Mm-hmm.
They had a jewelry person, salesman, I guess, deliver 2 rings at that time. I know, which Princess Diana told a friend, since she was expecting to receive a ring, and I quote, she was going firmly on her right hand, that ring. Crazy, right? So I think they were getting engaged.
Why would it be on a right? I mean, I guess in some cultures they do right hand instead of left, but I don't know if British do or not. I don't know.
I don't know. They were divorced.
Right, she was divorced from Charles.
So she could get engaged.
She could have.
Yeah. Faye later even claimed that she was pregnant with his child.
Right.
But on the autopsy... Well, I don't know. They could have lied too, but...
Right, especially with the... Was the autopsy done in Paris or in Britain?
I don't know.
Oh.
I could look it up.
Yeah.
Probably Britain, though. Oh, Obi's trying to climb the microphone.
No. No.
But yeah, so around 5:30 to 6:30 p.m., they have image of jewelers having 2 rings that were delivered to the Imperial Suite, which is where they were staying.
Mm-hmm.
And then later, around 7 p.m., both of them exit the Ritz through the back, and they wanted to go back to Faye's house. But apparently there were a lot of paparazzi and stuff harassing them and be on their face. So, that's Obi trying to climb out the window. But yeah, so they went back into Ritz and actually had dinner there. I'm pretty sure.
Instead of leaving, or
Yeah, instead of going to his house.
because they're the paparazzi.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and then at 9:50 p.m., they used the hotel's front entrance to, like, peek and see how
Paparazzi
busy was it.
situation
Yeah.
Okay.
And they decided to eat at L'Espadon. I think I'm pronouncing it right. It was a restaurant, basically. They made reservations and they ate it there. And yeah, there's actually a book about it. It's called Christopher Anderson's book, The Day That Diana Died. So, yeah.
Lit.
So she ordered food. They both ate. And both of them actually grown very concerned and suspicious about the photographers that were in the restaurant, and maybe even requesting food to go, to deliver to their rooms.
I hate that.
Which is
I
weird.
would hate being famous anyways and have the paparazzi on me,
Yeah.
let alone, I don't know.
Not being even able to eat or go to your boyfriend's
I don't
possible fiance's house.
Right.
And people actually claim that the reason why they crashed was because
Paparazzi.
they're because next to the cars, apparently people said there were a bunch of motorcycle paparazzi with flashlights, so they said that it could be that, but we'll talk about it in a second.
Okay.
And then on August 31st, remember this was August 30th, 1997. Now we're on August 31st, 12:20 a.m. They decided to try to leave the hotel again. And then they left the hotel again through the back door because one of the bodyguards said that it was better. And they went into the back seat, both of them, of a black Mercedes S280 that was driven by a Ritz security employee, and his name was Henry Paul.
So was he worked at the Ritz? He wasn't special hired by...
No, they
anybody.
killed off her bodyguard, the one that she said she loved. Yeah, I know, but I think that was before everything
that's
happened.
a whole nother controversy.
That's a whole nother thing.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But yeah, Henry Paul was the guy that was allegedly drinking and driving.
Okay, this guy.
But I'll talk about later how people don't actually believe that. But yeah. So people say that in the site he had at least 2 drinks, which was a Scott and a beer. Which it depends.
Yeah.
It
I
depends.
mean, there's so many factors to BAC.
Yeah.
Did he eat? What was his tolerance?
Yeah. Also, how much Scott did he have?
Right.
You don't know. Is it
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know. But apparently his blood alcohol level was determined to be 3 times higher than the French legal driving speed. And I don't know why someone would let, especially a Ritz hotel, but
why they would let them drink and then
drive
the Princess of Wales.
Yeah. Especially someone saw it.
Right.
Right? For them not to do anything. It's closing your eyes and blinding yourself to what's going on.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. And then they actually tested Paul's blood and hair and spinal cord. And they actually detected that at that time he was taking Prozac, which was an antidepressant.
Abusing it or just taking it?
Taking it.
Okay.
He was prescribed it.
Okay.
And then actually Prozac is also used to help with alcohol withdrawal.
Okay.
So we don't know if there's a history there of alcoholism or not.
Or if he was just depressed pesto.
Yeah. And that was actually really soon because it was very quick because the accident happened at like early morning, so a.m. Like she died on August 31st at 4 a.m. She was declared dead. And on September of 1997, like that month, well, because it was like one day before September, they tested Paul's blood, hair, and spinal cord. So, yeah. But he had, apparently, BCC reported later in 2007 that his dad had an alcoholic abuse.
Okay, so there's already like an increased chance there.
Yeah. So that happened, and they left the hotel at 12:20 a.m. And at 12:23 a.m., they went into that tunnel. So, and they crashed.
Right.
And the car was believed to be, of course, you can't know the exact speed of a car. I know some vans have, like, that disc that you put in there and, like, it records the speed. But
depending on, like, the damage done to the vehicle, you can, like, estimate, like, kind of, but there's no way to know, like, 1,000%, like,
absolutely.
how exactly fast they were going.
They, like, apparently, with all the evidence, they were guessing that the car was about 60 miles an hour.
Okay.
And it was, which it doesn't sound really fast, but the fact that the speed limit on that road was 30 miles an hour, that was pretty fast.
Is that miles or kilometers an hour?
Miles. I'm converting, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that road was actually 30 miles an hour, and he was going 60, and he was, I guess, because they were running away from paparazzi on the motorcycles next to them. Which, with flash photography, which is actually what people sometimes claim, what the official claim is, to cause the crash.
Causing the crash.
But that road is actually 30 miles an hour because it's a bridge, it's like a tunnel.
Right.
And it goes, like, there's a little dip before you go into the tunnel. That's why it goes 30 miles an hour, because...
just for safety reasons.
Yeah.
Right.
And it wasn't like a one-way tunnel. It was a two-way tunnel.
Both.
Yeah. And that's where they crashed it. They crashed at the pillars that divided the two ways. At 60 miles an hour when it was 30. So, that's crazy. So, that was 12:30 a.m., right? And, yeah. They were apparently, like, running from the paparazzis. And then after the crash, seconds after, people say Paul's co-worker, which his name is Trevor Rees Jones, had buckled his seatbelt right before they crashed.
And the backseat, Faye and Diana didn't have their seatbelts on, right?
No, they didn't have their seatbelts on.
I didn't think so.
Yeah, he basically had buckled his seatbelt, like, right before.
Okay, so that could be a little sus.
Yeah, like, just a tad. Imagine.
Okay.
Yeah. And Anderson actually said that was, like, against typical procedure for bodyguards. Like, why?
Right, because they need to be able to, like, hop out fast and, like, protect people and get in the back seat or something if they need to.
And he's actually the only one
that buckled
and that survived. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so Faye, which was Diana's boyfriend / fiance, we don't know.
Boy toy.
Yeah. And Paul died on the scene. They died right away. Struck.
All three of them just...
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Well, Paul and Faye died on the scene.
Okay, Diana.
Diana was still alive for
was she taken
hours. So, this is what the thing. So, apparently in Europe, they actually rather stabilize the patient on the scene and then move them.
Which is smart.
Yeah, well, it depends on the patient.
In some cases, yeah.
And then here, we rather, like...
get them to a
get
hospital.
them and go and do it on the ambulance. Unless someone's going in a cardiac arrest, then legally, the ambulance is supposed to stop.
Or else that's
and
negligence.
We can, like, do the CPR. Because it's apparently not safe for the EMT or for the paramedic or whatever to do CPR in a moving van.
Right.
But sometimes we do it anyways. But, I mean,
Yeah.
You gotta save a patient's life. You gotta be able to decide it fast. So that's something that's very sus. So they stayed from 12:23 a.m. until 1:20 a.m. trying to stabilize her. They stayed an hour there, which is absurd. Someone that is bleeding.
Right.
Like, you have very limited...
She's got, I'm sure, plenty of blunt force trauma already.
Yeah.
Like, her body, like, she's bleeding. She's probably flatlining slightly.
Yeah.
Or about there.
Yeah. And the ambulance actually took a very long time to arrive, too.
Oh.
Yeah. There was a doctor, I think his name was Frederick Malanes?
Malanes?
Maillez. He was driving, I don't know.
I have no clue.
Frederick M, I guess. He was driving by the scene with limited supplies. I know. I don't see any doctor who has, like, who, I guess on that time maybe they had, like, their little, like,
in that era,
purses.
I guess that maybe I guess in Europe it's more common to see, like, doctors that make house calls and stuff.
Yeah.
But especially probably, like, way back when.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I know of any doctors today that.
Yeah. And then so he was passing by the scene when that happened, and he
just so happened to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he, I mean we can't judge it. Maybe he was actually just passing by the scene, but it was very sus. Before the ambulance arrived, and he tried to help her out, and it says that, like, people had to use, like, an electric chainsaw to get her out of the car.
To cut her out. Jaws of life and
stuff. Which is crazy, right? Like,
yeah.
Just, like, if you do all the trouble to get her out, it means, like, and you actually get her out of the car.
Do you know if she was sitting behind the passenger seat or the driver's seat?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, it would be driver's
I should look it up.
Passenger seat. I think she was behind the... In Europe, the driver's seat is on the right side. So I think she was on the left side.
On the picture, there's a picture of a paparazzi that he took right before the car crashed.
Okay.
And there is a bodyguard driving, the other one who buckled and survived, and then right behind that, the bodyguard that was drinking was Diana, and next to her was
So
Faye.
she was on the right side in
Yeah.
the back of the car, and Faye was on the left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is crazy because I think that was closer to the
pillars.
To the pillars, yeah. And
but maybe the force hitting the bodyguard that was driving first, maybe that, I don't know, took some off of her.
That could have been it.
I don't know.
Apparently after 1 hour, that was 1:20, they hit at 12:23, so an hour and 3 minutes, I guess, Anyways, an hour after trying to stabilize her, they decided to take her to hospital. And I guess French ambulances are more like, quote unquote, like, stay and play. They're trying to stabilize the patient, like I was saying. And then our conception in America is like, just
get
scooping
them
that
to the
patient and
faster.
Yeah. And then along the way, she had cardiac arrest, actually, and they had to stop. Resuscitate, which they had to do CPR and stuff. That was 1:20 a.m. and she actually only got to the hospital at 2:01.
So it took 40 minutes to get to a hospital?
It took 40 minutes to get to a hospital, but they took her... she wasn't taken to the nearest hospital, which was like 5 minutes away. She was taken to a hospital that was 40 minutes away.
Why?
Exactly. And then... at 1:45 a.m., before she got to hospital, Michael J., which was the Britain's ambassadors of France, they notified what was going on. So he alerted the Queen's
Imagine
secretary.
having to do that. Imagine, like, being the person, like, the ambassador for Britain in France, and having to call your queen and be like, hey, so
your plan worked.
Your favorite daughter-in-law is actually finna die.
Yeah. On to a side note, I actually love that Queen Elizabeth, she wore a similar white dress.
Yeah.
To when Charles and
Camilla
got
married.
I loved that.
Yeah.
It was and it was similar to the one that Camilla wore whenever Charles and Diana got married. I don't know if you saw that. It was like very similar.
I did not see that.
It was a very similar white dress.
Yeah.
I'll show you in a second.
Diana was an icon.
She was. So yeah, at 2:01 a.m., she arrives at that hospital, and it takes a couple minutes for them to put her under surgery. And apparently after 2 hours of trying to help her out, I guess, the doctors, she was pronounced dead. And the doctor said that Diana's body got there, and I quote, in a condition of serious hemorrhage and shock. And who treated her was Dr. Bruno Rio. He said that an urgent surgery showed a severe wound to the left pulmonary vein. Despite the closure of this wound and the 2-hour external and internal cardiac massage, no official respiratory circulation could be established.
Jeez.
I know. Yeah. And then at 6 p.m., long hours later, she was taken out of the hospital.
And transported back.
Yeah.
To England.
Yeah, exactly. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
So.
How do you have this figure, Princess Diana, this major figure in politics and even just culture in general.
Yeah.
In not only England, but like all of Europe and even like over here in the States.
Yeah.
And they fail to treat her like, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like, how did they let so much time pass?
I don't even know.
In like transporting her, for sure.
And most people think it was plotted. People think that. I'm sure. Yeah. So one of the conspiracies or one of the claims is that Diana was pregnant from Faye.
Right. So that would have been a bastard child.
Yeah. But yeah, exactly. But on her autopsy, it didn't show any signs that she was pregnant.
Right, which could have been a cover-up because,
yeah, exactly.
You know, being part of the royal family in... Oh,
absolutely.
So, that could have been a cover-up. That's...
Yeah. Yeah, and then the one was the flashlight driver distracted Henry Paul.
Oh, okay, so the tunnel. Paparazzi flashlights were...
Yeah.
I'm sure that's definitely plausible.
That could be it, too.
Because, like, I mean, yeah, that's bright. That's a lot. And if it's, like, all over... I mean, everybody wanted to see Princess Diana in action. Everybody wanted to catch her doing something.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And then, actually, about the thing that she might be pregnant, that came up before Diana died, like...
Oh, so yeah. It was already a controversy.
Yeah, because during a holiday in France, actually, a couple weeks before, like, newspaper were... putting it out there that she might be pregnant because Diana was talking about coming up with a big surprise. That's exactly what she said, like a big surprise.
And did we ever figure out what her big surprise was?
No.
Oh.
Well, she died.
Okay.
Yeah, but she was showing no signs of pregnancy or anything, and again, like the autopsy report didn't show anything.
Right.
But
so we just have like media's word.
Yeah. And actually, you're talking about that dream, right? That she had.
Oh, yeah, because she wrote in her journal. I don't know, like, a lot of information about it or anything. I don't have any info in front of me. But...
Do you want me to read what she wrote?
Yeah, she wrote in her journal about getting in a car wreck. Yeah, read it.
She said, I'm sitting here at my desk today in October, longing for someone to hug me and encourage me to keep strong and hold my head high. This particular phase in my life is the most dangerous. And then she goes on and says, so-and-so, well, because I have 3 dots here, that's why.
Yeah.
And then he skips to, is planning, I quote, an accident in my car, brake failure, and serious head injury in order to make the path clear for Charles to marry. So she was clearly concerned about her safety.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it makes sense because she died in a car crash and she dreamed about it too and wrote in her diary.
Yeah.
And that was... And then...
Brake failure, head trauma.
Yeah. That was crazy. Like, that... Yeah. And then maybe some people even believe that Henry wasn't drunk at all. Some people believe that was just, they switched the bodies in the autopsy report, but he actually did it on purpose.
He was part of a plan.
Yeah. He was the head of security of Ritz Hotel in Paris. Like, how...
Okay.
Like, how are you just gonna be drunk all the time?
Right. That doesn't seem very plausible to me. I mean, I know we said that his dad suffered from alcoholism, so that, like, puts him at an increased risk to be an alcoholic, but...
Yeah.
And he was on the Prozac, but, again, that could have been, like, mental health. Like, I don't know. Like you said, I don't see the head of security at the Ritz-Carlton in Paris, France, being drunk on his job.
Yeah.
But I do see how anybody can be paid off at the right price.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Especially being the head. Like, who's going to question that? The head
right.
of security.
Yeah, no one's... Well, I don't want to say no one, because, I mean, there's people like us always target authority.
No, yeah, that's true.
But, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and also it's funny because Obi's chewing on something. But, people think there was something wrong with the car, because why is the security...
Brake failure come up?
Yep.
Like she wrote in her letter?
Yep, exactly. Ah! And not even that, it's snowy outside.
It is. It's winter storm.
And not even that, people are being sus about, because usually commercial cars, especially a car from the hotel or a car that's transporting a princess nonetheless,
would probably be inspected beforehand.
Well, that too, but would probably have like a speed check or something, right? Would probably like have a way to record the speed, and
I don't know if they would have in the...
Some commercial cars have that disc that...
We're youngins. I know that, like, in this today in the 21st century, like, they have the technology to do so, but I don't know. I wasn't alive in the 90s to know if they would have had that.
Yeah, so more about the bodyguard that was killed that I was telling you about.
Mm-hmm.
He actually, in 2004, NBC came out with a video of Diana talking about the way that he died. And actually, she described him as the greatest love I've ever had. And then she goes on to say, but it was all found out and he was chucked out. I'm guessing of royal protection.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes on to say, then he was killed. I think he was bumped off.
So her lover that was part of the royal guard or royal security or something, like, years prior.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Isn't that insane that they just chuck people to the side?
Yeah, but I mean, the British hierarchy English hierarchy is a dog-eat-dog world.
Yeah. And some people don't... Oh! Obi wants to jump. Some people believe that the car even was switched up. That, like, the Mercedes S280, they're two of the same. And
Diana made a getaway?
No, like, and they switched the car to ones that the pedal brakes didn't work.
Oh. Yeah. To a faulty vehicle.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, the name of the tunnel was Alma Tunnel. Sorry, I forgot to mention that.
Alma Tunnel and Telly?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's crazy, right? But,
yeah.
Yeah, actually for a long time, oh my gosh, I forgot his name. Prince,
Charles?
No, her son.
William?
No.
The ginger?
Yeah.
Oh,
I feel so bad.
Oh my gosh. Wait.
I hate this.
What the heck?
Her child, actually, he did a documentary.
Harry!
Yes, thank you. Harry, he made a documentary saying that for a very long time, he didn't believe that she was dead. She
Yeah.
thought that she just
Went
went away and was going to come back soon, that she was, like, running for some reason. So it's funny to me, why would he believe that? I think he also thought that she was in danger.
Well, yeah, I'm sure, because you mentioned earlier about paving the way for Charles to marry Camilla. And because, like, Charles was in love with Camilla even before he knew he had to marry Diana.
Yeah.
Like, Camilla had always been there. But...
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's crazy, right?
I was, like, trying to make a point, but it just disappeared, so
That's
it wasn't important.
But that is crazy. I'm reading actually here that the ambulance took people that were around the scene said that the ambulance was actually traveling slowly on his express instructions, and the doctor who was apparently concerned with Diana's blood pressure and the effects of her medical condition of deceleration and acceleration, they didn't do much about it. It looks like all the doctors that were taking care of her were paid off. But
Okay.
yeah, crazy, right? I don't even, like, know where to focus on, because there's so many things that went wrong.
Well, yeah, this the entire case of Princess Diana's death is just filled with negligence and I'm sure lies and cover-ups.
Yeah. And guess what? 35 years after, the Transport Research Laboratory was able to collect the car that she was in 2005 for a forensic search, and they found out that all of the seatbelts were working in order except the right rear one.
Which is where Diana was.
Mm-hmm.
Ah!
Exactly. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. And they all had gone through seatbelts operational examination in October of 1997. That car.
And what month did she die in?
October.
Oh.
31st.
Okay.
That's scary. Sorry, August. August 31st, not October.
Okay.
And they were all in great condition. So, that's scary, isn't it? Let us sit with that.
With that marinade.
Yeah. There are even, like, more conspiracy theories that talk about Richard Thompson, like, with the MI6 officer, like, being involved in the intelligence services. But I feel like we could go on with this for literally forever.
Well, right, because not having answers drives people absolutely insane. And they're going to just keep coming up with more and more.
Mm-hmm. And Queen Elizabeth, we don't even know if... People say that she cried.
So,
But
I know that Queen Elizabeth loved Diana.
Yeah.
Like, all records show, unless it was all fake and she's a great actress. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe.
I don't think she fakes on the cameras, though.
No. But Queen Elizabeth was, like, notorious for, like, loving Diana.
Yeah.
Like, Diana was her favorite child.
Absolutely.
After she married Charles, it was all about Diana.
Yeah.
Like, the Queen never liked Camilla.
No.
Still didn't, even right before she passed away.
I don't think she does.
I know.
Yeah.
So,
I don't believe she does.
no. So, I don't, like, refuse to believe it was something, like a conspiracy or something that the Queen had plotted her death. I mean, I don't want to put it past her because I know that when, I don't know, power does things to people.
Oh, absolutely.
But I don't know how much I want to believe it was the Queen. Charles, maybe.
I absolutely think it was him.
Yeah.
Because right after they got married. Right? And I don't think they could get married if even if they were divorced, I think it would look really bad if they did get married
Right.
again.
Yeah.
She had to die. Well, or him, which we know the better option, but.
Right. But it's fine. Everything's fine.
But yeah, people say that the entire time Queen Elizabeth had her head down during Diana's funeral.
Yeah, and she would never, like, want the country to see her cry because she was, you know, another, like, really big figure. Like, she was monarch for how many years? So she just had her platinum jubilee.
Yeah.
So
It's crazy because for her wedding, Diana's and Charles. Oh, Obi is
he's gonna fall.
climbing on me. But for her wedding, I think there was like 750,000 people showed up. But for her funeral, 2.5 million people showed and pledged their respect towards her. And I guess she was an awesome princess. She was advocating for everyone and doing her best all the time.
Yeah, she was always she was the people's princess for sure. Like, even after her and Charles's divorce, she did stuff for the people. And I mean, she also was known for taking care of herself, and that was something that was really awesome too. But I know that I saw a clip at a children's hospital. There was this sick kid. I don't remember what he had exactly, but it was like a contagious disease. And she was standing back from the bed, and she goes over and gives this little kid a hug.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
So, like...
Yeah. She was a very good princess. And the thing that sucks is that I don't think we're ever gonna figure out what really happened that night.
No.
Since it's such a high...
I doubt it.
Power. But...
No. I want to know it.
I
like
do
there's
too.
so much in history that we're never gonna have the answers to.
I know.
Because the only way we're gonna get answers are from the people themselves, and they're all dead.
Yeah.
So that's
do it that way you will. Hopefully we'll bring more stories here that we probably won't ever figure out, when we'll just
try not to be frustrated and let it consume you.
Yeah, for sure.
But it will.
Well, that being said, pick your conspiracy theory and go along with it.
Yeah.
And
pick your poison.
Yeah, if you're still here, thank you so much for listening. We don't know if we're gonna make a second post. It all depends if our lives will allow it, because we're always super busy. But
we live on different ends of the country.
We do too. So we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do, and we're in the middle of a snowstorm. So
yeah,
that's always nice. So thank you so much for listening. Yeah, is it weird if I say, like, leave a like or comment and share with your friends?
No, please do that.
Yeah, leave a like, comment, share with your friends.
Do that. What she said.
And we'll see if we post something else next week.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Bye.
This was fun.
Yeah, it was.